Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our review of Criminal Minds Evolution Season 1, Episode 4. Crazy news, everybody. We're not actually that far away from like the halfway point of this season and it going on break for our holidays. Not to get the bad news right now at the start
Oh,
of this.
ba 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 ba.
Yeah.
Come on. This has been a really great season. I'm not going to say this is my most favorite episode of
Yeah.
the season. They've kind of set up at the beginning that this whole season was going to be more serialized, huge arc, and then boom, we have this episode about these two brothers who clearly sleep upside down. They are so weird. This was such a strange episode, but here we are. But before we get into all that, the biggest thing we are going to talk about
Yeah.
is Will dying? And if they kill off Will, are they going to bring back Spencer? Because then it leaves open this romance with JJ that we saw at the end when the season was ending or the whole show was ending. Are they going to kill him off to open up this big possible arc? I don't know.
You're all thinking about it. Like, let's just be
Oh, I'm
honest.
thinking about it.
Let's just be honest here.
All right, before we get into this, if you are new to the channel, welcome. This is Matt. I'm Jessica. You can call me Bun Bun. That's my nickname. My friends call me that, and you guys are my friends. You guys can call me that too. Hit that
Yeah.
subscribe button. We are here every single week talking about Criminal Minds. We're going to be here all season long. It is one of our favorite shows to talk about, so hit that subscribe button.
Okay, there's just so much to get into here with this. Like, let's oh my god. Okay.
Okay, let's jump into the big news that ended up
Yeah.
happening in this episode where Will basically said that he's going through more testing. They think he might have cancer, and if that's the case, are they looking to kill off the Will character? And I think they are. This didn't come up for no real reason. It was a really sort of controversial ending where we had JJ and Spencer sort of admit these feelings for each other, where JJ decided, she was like, I'm not going to blow up my whole family and my marriage and my children. Like, that's not happening. Whatever the feelings were or are, they're not relevant to what's actually going on in life. And then Spencer went off to do whatever he's doing right now. But there was always sort of this feeling that, if something happened to Will or if their relationship fell apart naturally on its own,
Yeah.
could that then be something? But then the news came out. It was like, okay, well, Matthew Gray Goobler's not coming back this season.
Yeah.
But it's completely open for him. They have said it multiple times on the show, sort of talking about him or sort of he could come back, kind of just leaving it really open for him. Then this Will story shows up. Oh, he might be dying. Okay, I see what's happening. I think we are in a situation where they're going to kill off Will this season, where Spencer is not on the show. So there is no sort of like, oh, they're just doing this because, Spencer. He's not on the show. He may not come back. But this might be a door open for Matthew to kind of be like, this is some juicy material that could be coming up for the Spencer character. So maybe I'll come back. How much money you going to drive up to my house?
This show's probably making a ton of money. Like, we could probably say that, like, right out the get-go. Like, it's not confirmed for a season 2, but I think we can all assume that there's a really, really good chance of it.
Yes.
Here's the big thing that I've really wondered a lot about this is that, yeah, I think it makes perfect sense that, if Will does end up getting out of the picture one way or another, and, it's going to be obviously devastating for JJ if Will dies, but that does open the door for Spencer. I just think the biggest sort of question mark here is if you're Criminal Minds, if you're showrunner Erica Messer and you're like thinking far into the future here, are you really, it's a big risk to take if you don't know that Matthew is coming back or not, if you're trying to plant some sort of seeds on this and you're just hoping that he comes back. Because then it's like, what if he says no? Then you've just killed off Will. And, I'm sure there's a lot of compelling stories to tell for JJ, totally,
Yes.
on her own, single parent, still trying to work the BAU. But fans are going to want Spencer back if Will is gone. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm one of those fans. Like, when this all came about, yeah, I want to see Spencer and JJ together, but I didn't want to see JJ blow up her whole marriage. So when she didn't, I was like, yeah, that's the right way to go about it. I don't want to see her cheating. I don't want to see Spencer sneaking around. I didn't want to see any of that. And I didn't. They did it exactly right. And, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that they are setting this up so that there could be this bigger story with Spencer if he comes back? Are you even interested in something like that? I mean, we're going to be having these types of discussions here every single week. So, yeah, again, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you've been enjoying these talks that we've been having already.
If this Will storyline continues, I'm sure this will not even be the last time we have this discussion because
Whew.
they're going to give us more answers. Hopefully this next week because here's where the issue comes in with this Criminal Minds episode as a whole. Like I didn't love it and I think the biggest reason I didn't love it is just like other than the Will reveal,
Mhm.
like what else really is there? And it's a part of it's the construction of this episode where they really set this up, making us think where we're going to get more information on Elias. We're going to get more on the network, and then it doesn't really turn out that way. I would rather, from the get go, just have a case of the week episode that's classic Criminal Minds. It's not really related. Because guess what? We have all sat in our bed sick over the course of like the past 10 years just looking to watch a standalone episode of this show that didn't mean anything. I have no problem with that. I don't like the bait and switch. I'm sorry. It feels like a bait and switch to me.
I was yeah, it was 100%. I absolutely agree. I felt, and I'm sure some of you felt this way too, that this was going to be somehow connected. They set up the first two episodes where everyone's getting together with all this network of killers, and we had the next episode where it was all about the killer
Yeah.
getting to know this person. And then all of a sudden, like I said, we have these two brothers who sleep upside down and crazy and going around doing all these things. Then at the end of the episode, it's like, ah, it's not connected. Man, we were on the wrong road. We got to drive back out to this highway. I'm like, "Okay, what? Guys, come on. Like, we've been with you guys
Yeah.
for all these years. You guys are now on a streaming service. It is definitely different. You
Yeah.
guys dropping the F-bomb. You guys have some darker, even darker things going on the show than you did on network TV, and you set it up to be serialized where we are covering this one whole arc. You only have a handful of episodes. It's not the same as it used to be. So we're in this situation where it's like, I don't need the TV comfort food. I'm sick. Give me a standalone episode. You don't have that many episodes to really flesh out a whole killer network. And then you're going to give me these two kids going off on a different road doing whatever. No, I don't want it.
Here is where I'm going to play devil's advocate and then I'm going to straight up attack my own devil's advocate. So this is here we go. Okay, devil's
Do you
advocate.
sleep upside down?
We don't need to get into that. Okay, so here's devil's advocate. Here's what, I'm sure producer would come back and be like, well, in the real FBI, I don't think producers talk like this, but just go with me. In the real FBI, sometimes you chase leads that don't go anywhere. And,
Sure.
here's my response. Understand. I get it. But since when have you guys cared about being realistic? I do not expect that every single thing that has happened in Criminal Minds happens in real life. I'm sure there are about 10 different subs that you have pulled out of you-know-where over the course of this series. I do not... If I wanted to watch something realistic, I'd go watch some like docu-series that's on A&E at like midnight every night. And I put that on my DVR. Guess what? I don't want to watch that. I want to watch Criminal Minds.
Yeah, Criminal Minds has a little bit of suspension of disbelief, and it's okay. Like, there's lots of relatable stuff on there
Yeah.
with the members of the BAU that we can all get really invested in and stuff like that, and the cases and whatever. But it doesn't have to be straight sort of ripped from the headlines. This is exactly how they would work because, I mean, one of the things that this show has been doing for years is this person's coming in to shut down the team. All right. I don't feel like, and I could be wrong, I don't work for the BAU or any sort of criminal agency, but like if you're working for a specific department that's almost getting shut down every single season, at some point it's
Yeah.
like, is that really happening? Because, like, well, then why isn't it just shut down?
It's true. It's true. Also, another slab of beef here. Alves, my guy. Why aren't we learning more about what's going on with you? Like, okay,
Mm,
10 episodes, not a lot of time. You've
no.
given us a little bit of Tara, what's going on with her
Yep.
personal life. That's great. We've gotten a good bit of Garcia. We know what got her
Mhm.
back to the team in the first place. We're getting like little bitty snippets of things. Other than like Garcia and this relationship that's already driving me crazy, what's going on with Luke outside the team? Like, I want more insight. I feel like he has gotten the shaft more so than any other major character. Like, I mean, even with Rossi, we at least understand what happened to Crystal to some extent. We don't have the full story, but we know that she's dead. We know what got him in this. It's just like he's just sort of a blank canvas who's just there to fight with Garcia right now and not really answer whatever happened years ago.
Absolutely. He needs more story of what's been going on. And I mean, even Prentice hasn't had enough. Like,
Yeah.
we've had a little bit, but we haven't had enough. Rossi's story, nice and juicy. Garcia, yes. JJ, lots of stuff going on. But yeah, Luke has really been sort of left in the wind here. But there's still time. Like, everybody's got to have a little moment to shine. I feel confident that they're going to give us something with him.
We all need it. Please. We just need some happiness. This show is really dark right now, and I know that a lot of us like JJ and Spencer, but you may be killing off Will, and that's sad.
Absolutely it is. Okay, we'll talk a little bit about these two kids and what was going on. It To me the story wasn't, I don't know, it wasn't that interesting. It's not really something that's going to stick with me, and I don't know if it's just because it really wasn't that interesting. We've sort of seen these home invader type
Yeah.
stories a bunch of times. Like, yeah, they have a little bit of a twist where it's like, oh, it's related to what happened to them. But I mean, we've kind of seen that before on other crime shows. It wasn't that different. And Criminal Minds typically makes things very different. So for me, it was okay. The big reveal about Will was really the money in this episode.
Yeah, I didn't care about the unsubs really at all. It's just that I'm a character guy. Like I watch shows because I like characters, and if you're introducing somebody like this, you really need to go into overdrive to make me care about them in the span of just one episode. And
Mhm.
it wasn't deep enough, it wasn't different enough. It doesn't stand out. I will forget about these unsubs altogether by the time we discuss the next episode.
Yeah, especially since by the time they got to the end with the one brother who was alive, he was just like, I just don't care. I was just like, okay, well, then we went on a
Yeah.
ride to nowhere. Cool.
If you don't care, we don't have to care either.
Yeah.
And with that in mind, just go ahead, hit that subscribe button, hang out with us every single week that there is Criminal Minds. We will be here to break it all down.
Yep.
Hopefully, there's like some kind of cool cliffhanger coming as we get into the hiatus.
I feel like it's coming.
All right, well, we will see you guys here next time.